This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Phantom Legend Aehab from Limb Toys. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see a really cool image of the character. Turning the box around, we can see a bunch of write-ups for the company. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. Alright guys, so let's take a closer look at this not solid snake here. I'm pretty impressed with this for the most part. Now I really feel like this has just been taking forever. The delays have been like crazy. It's been like, what, a year and a half or something like that since we were first able to pre-order this figure. Now for like the past month he's finally been rolling out. So let's see if he's worth the wait, because it's been a long wait for all of us, so I totally get it. So the soft goods themselves, I think they look pretty good here. The whole suit with that like tiger stripe camo, I think it looks really nice. The stitching itself looks a little thick for this size. You know, I know Limb Toys tends to do a lot of more 1/6 scale stuff. So when they're shrinking that down to half size, maybe they haven't quite perfected the 1/12 scale type of stuff, but it still looks pretty decent, it is what it is. I do like all the nylon straps that we get here throughout. The entire figure looks really, really cool. I love how we even get like the texturing on these pouches, because these pouches are a sculpted plastic. Even things like here on the belt here, lots of good texture all throughout. That kind of stuff right there works really nice all throughout the pants. You got this little like a little string right here wrapped around the leg. You got a holster right there. Again, loving all the texturing. This really nice little knee padding on the one side. I love the asymmetry of this figure. And even on the boots, again, a lot of that texturing, a lot of the detail on there looks really nice. Same thing, this is an actual soft goods pouch right here. All this looks really good. Again, the nylon all looks very well done. You have these little emblems right here on the shoulder. I love how the sleeves even look like they're actually cuffed up like that, even though it's stitched a specific way, so that looks really cool too. But yeah, man, I dig a lot of this. You got a little canteen on the back right here. The canteen is removable, so that's really cool too. It's just kind of like hanging onto the little belt right there. You can see that. So I like this. It looks pretty good in the scale right here. I love the little robotic arm that we get on this side. It looks really cool too. A little gold stripe, a little in there. The black that fades into the deep red right here. All the knuckles and things like that are painted. Same thing with the standard gloved hand. And I love how like even the arm right here, you can see like the sculpted on hair for the forearm right there, and a little scar that you can see where that stitching has been. So that's pretty rad, man. I love that. And even on his little Walkman here, you do get a little sticker, which I'll show you a little later on, for that to show there's a little cassette in there, so it looks pretty good too. But for the most part, I think the aesthetics of this look really, really nice. I really do like what Limb Toys has done here. I think it looks really, really good. Okay, so let's check out the accessories now. Oh, he does come with a ton of stuff. So I'm going to start off with the hands first and foremost. So we do got this particular gripping hand here. That's almost at an angle like that, as you can see. And you're going to see this is going to be one of my biggest complaints here. It just, the way it's, you know, this whole system of how the peg is way deep inside the glove there doesn't really help with the articulation all that much. And you can actually see how this is on a hinge and a swivel. So you're mostly just going to get a swivel when you're doing this. The hinge doesn't work all that well because it's so deep inside that glove. So that's a little disappointing here. We also do get things like a closed fisted hand that you're going to have like so. We do get a more open palm hand for some like loose gripping type of poses. But we also do get a hand that's specifically for holding his cigar. And of course he comes with a cigar there with a little smoke effect. And I think it looks really cool. That's a really nice piece like that. So I love that. Well, one thing I'm disappointed in, and I'll show you this a little later, this is the only like trigger finger hand that we have here. Now, if I bring in something like his pistol, which is a nice looking pistol, I do like this a lot. You can get it in his hand like this, like so, but you can't hold it straight forward and straight out. They give us no hands for that. So this hand is specifically for holding like these types of like two gripping like poses like this where he holds with both hands, you know what I mean? So that's a little disappointing that we can't get a hand that has him just like shooting straight out, you know what I mean? You could probably get a little gangster with it and go to the side, you know what I mean? But that's just not right. I don't know why they didn't give us that hand. That's honestly really disappointing. But for that pistol, we actually do get a little holster right here on the side. You can open this up, slide that in there, and it actually does peg into place like that. So that works out really nice. So that's probably where that's going to stay for the rest of its life, honestly. So for this hand right here, we do get a loose palm hand like so. Then we also do get more of another kind of like a loose gripping hand. This one's a little tighter, a little firmer like that. Then we also do get a type of gripping hand for this one, which is more specifically, from what I can find, from what I can gather here, it looks like it's more specifically holding that knife, and the knife looks really good too. I love the way that works out. It's a really nice little piece. It's so small, so tiny, so just be very careful with that. With the knife here, we actually do get a little sheath or a little holster for it. Again, this is just really small stuff, man, and I have big fat fingers, so you gotta be very careful. So you can stick that in there like so. And what I've been doing, since there's no real actual place to holster this, I've kind of just been holding it in like the strap right here to keep it across his chest. If you want to hold it like that, it'll stay for the most part. It's not gonna go flying anywhere, but like definitely when you're like posing around, it might fall off, but still, once you put it on the shelf, it's going to stay there pretty good. So I like that. And I'm pretty sure you could stick it somewhere else, wherever you can find, like maybe under the string right here on the side. So you can figure out where you want to put that, but still, it's a good little accessory there. We also do get a peace sign fingers with this arm, which looks really cool too. I think that's funny. But what's really nice too, with this particular one, we actually do get an interchangeable forearm. So if you give this a nice tug, and it might be tight at first, you can pull off that entire forearm like that, and you can see a little peg right there. And then we can interchange it to this blue arm like so, which is really nice too. Lots of great paint. I love the colors on that. Have like this dark grayish blue mixed with the bright blue, orange, and white, and little gold accents and things like that. Works nice too. And as you can see, we do get the peace finger hands for that one as well as a loose gripping hand for holding things, again, like when you want a two-hand pose, him holding his rifles and things like that. And now, what I do like is that the hands are a softer, pliable plastic, so they're not too rigid or too gummy. So that actually works when you're trying to get things into their hands. So I do like that a lot. So lots of good interchangeable hands with this figure, which is really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that one on probably for the rest of the video like that. Now, we also do get interchangeable feet, which I didn't expect here. So you have these ones right here, which are really nice. Again, the paint detail looks great. You can see it's like some mud and dirt like that, which looks really good. But these are solid like boots. So you're not going to get a whole lot of motion in there when you're posing them around. No ankle pivot. You're going to get it on just a little swivel mostly. You can see it kind of rolls around a bit, but not a whole lot of movement there. But Limb Toys decided to have your back, and you can pull these off like so. And sometimes the peg itself will stick in there. You can just pull that right out. And then they give you entirely new ankle pegs, which is interesting because I've never actually seen a company do this before. I mean, I'm sure it's been done before, but it's the first time I'm ever seen it. So you can put those on there like this, and then you can take these right here, slide them over those calves like that, and then you could take the actual feet, got little pegs like so, pop those on right there, like that, and then put that one right here. Now you have actual ankle articulation where you can go up and down and pivot and rotate and all kinds of stuff like that. Now, I'm not really sure why they did that. I would have just preferred to have these, but if you don't want the broken up segmented ankles, I mean, you want to go for a full boot, I guess this is what you want to go for. But I don't know anybody who prefers that, you know what I mean? Especially if you're going to have them in some type of dynamic pose. These ones are obviously going to be a lot better. So sure, I mean, I'll take it. You know what I mean? It's a very interesting thing that they're doing, but I guess it still works, so I'm cool with that. So taking a look at the face next, I think the head sculpt came out really, really good. I love the eye patch right here. You can even see like how his beard is sculpted in, looks really cool too. You can even see his scars that you see on that. Get my camera a little darker so you can really see that. So that looks a lot better. But the hair looks really nice. The little kind of like bangs right there, little baby hairs going off the forehead. It looks really good. Again, the scars all over the face and around the eye look nice. The blue eye paint looks really, really clean on this. the lips, all that looks really, really good, man. The eye patch, again, even texture on the eye patch looks really nice. So that came out really, really cool. So we do, of course, again, get the standard head sculpt, which I think looks really, really good. But we get a bunch of headgear with this too. So we get some standard goggles, and I love the way these look because they're all kind of dirty, and you can see kind of like mud splattered on them and things like that. So I think that looks really nice. We also do get some night vision goggles, which look really cool too. Lots of great painting and sculpting detail on those. And I love how we even have like a little green lens right in there, so you can see it kind of shining through the little barrel right there. So I think it looks really cool too, man. That's a great look. We also do get some type of like gas mask, which is really nice too. I love that look. I think it looks great. And all of these are held on by like actual nylon straps, so you can work them on there and they will fit perfectly. With the combination of that gas mask, you can actually add the goggles to that too. So if you wanted to have both of those on, I think those look really nice too. But we also do get his awesome chicken hat mask, whatever you want to call it. That's hilarious. I'll probably never be using that thing, but it's pretty funny that they included that, and it came really, really good. Again, something straight from the video game, inside joke type of thing, and I think it looks really, really cool. And we also get a second head sculpt completely, which is a fully masked head, and that looks awesome, man. I love the all black, the little silver details around the mouth, and like the gold lenses for the eyes just look killer. So, when you're changing these heads out, we do have the option just to pull them off, and then sometimes the little drum wheel right here will stay stuck to the peg, and you can just pull that off, which is kind of a good thing. So what you can do when you're taking with the head, you can rest it up on there like that, and depending on how you want it, you can lower it down more. If you want to have it rested lower to the shoulders, or if you think you want a little bit of a longer neck, you can extend that like that. So it's really up to you what you want to do. You can take that off like so, put that to the side, and then take this one on, just on, again, simple ball peg, and pop that on there like so. And then same thing with this, it does have a drum like that, and you could rest it a little higher if you wanted to. Get down the middle, go down lower, so it's really up to you. But again, the detail on this specific one just looks rad, dude, so I dig this a lot. And then what we also do get, let me go ahead and just pop this back on here and right here. We also do get like this little scarf shawl type thing, soft goods, but it is on bendy wire. You can get this thing to wrap around like his shoulders like that, or over the head to do stuff like that, whatever you want to do, and you'll see some pictures later on. But the fact that we get all these options is just really cool, and that's really making this figure, is just all the different displays we can get with this guy, so that's really cool. Okay, other accessories we do get is this sticker sheet here with like a soldier with the alert symbol going off like that. I wish this was like a little cardboard standee. I think that would have been cool instead of a sticker. So that's a little disappointing, but it still looks really cool. It looks like it's an actual image straight from the video game, so that's really nice. But we also do get little stickers right there. It's hard to see these, but for the watch that we get. Now the watch is very tiny. You see it's on a little nylon strap. You got the face right there, so you can put those little stickers on the watch if you want to. And my fingers are so fat, that's really hard for me to do. Same thing on the sticker sheet. You have little stickers right there with the cassettes for the Walkman, which I already put on the belt right there. See, like that. So it's pretty tricky. Again, it's hard for me to do that, but I do mostly wish that this guy right here was an actual like cardboard standee, so that would have been really nice. But we also do get the cardboard box here, which I think is awesome. I love this. So you got the Rocky Terrain variant here, which is basically the version of this figure. You got that tiger stripe camel right there, and all these little symbols and labels and things like that. You got little handles on there. This just comes flat in the box. You do have to fold this in position to make it look like an actual cardboard box, and you can have them, you know, on there like he's like walking around and things like that, or have him popping out of the box and hiding in the box. I mean, if you play the games, you know what these little cardboard boxes are for. I just think that's really cool that they've included, and it's a nice size too. You can actually fit the figure in there a good way, so that's pretty cool. So we also do get his little communicator device here, which looks really nice, nicely sculpted, very tiny little piece, and it comes with a little hologram effect that we get here that you can peg into it like so, and I think that looks really cool. The only thing I have a problem with is it doesn't really stick inside there. You could peg it in there, but it's just gonna fall right out. It doesn't fit snug at all. So chances are I'm mostly gonna glue it because I'm never gonna display this without the little hologram piece. So there it goes. So for his actual guns go, he actually comes with 3 different types of rifles or machine guns, whatever you want to call them. Don't ask me to tell you what the difference is because I don't know, but they all look great. They all look really nicely sculpted and painted. The detail looks really, really cool on those. I do love all of the way those look. Now with these different rifles, they all do have removable like magazines right there, which is pretty cool, and you can see the bullet in there. So I do like when toys do that. Same thing with this one right here. You can just pull that out like this. This one does come out a little easier than I would like, but it's still pretty cool to have in there. So I do think that looks really cool too. So they all look really, really nice. But easily the best weapon, I think, is this big bad boy bazooka right here. I think this thing came out great, dude. The sculpt in that looks awesome. I love we have see a little bit of an airbrush on there like so. If we could even see like a little bit of purple right there on like the sight, which looks really awesome. But even comes with 2 missiles, which I think is really cool too. And you can see how far these go in like that. I just think that's really cool how you can slide this all the way in like there. And that's really cool too. And you'll see posters and pictures later on with all of these weapons and things like that. I just think it's so rad, dude. So very cool. I love all the things that we get here. So one thing I want to talk about the rifles real quick is that I noticed when I was kind of just playing around with them, these for some reason are magnetized. You can see that they just stick together. For some reason you cannot hold these 2 together because they feel like they repel. You know what I'm talking about, repelling magnets. But you can attach the blue one to any of them like that, as you can see here. No, not this one right here. That. So I don't know. They're like on opposite magnets, so it's a little weird how that design is. And I haven't heard anybody talk about the magnetic weapons. So what I've been doing, you have these like little metal clips back here. So what I've kind of been doing, I've just been putting them on those metal clips so you can holster the weapons on the back. Now again, I don't know if that's exactly what they're for, but you can do that. So I can put this one back here and then that one back there again, so you can hold them on the back. Now they're not strong magnets, so they will fall off, but I guess when you have them on the shelf, you can holster them on the back like that, which is pretty cool. And again, I haven't really seen anybody talk about that because honestly I didn't even know that was a thing until I was just kind of messing around with them. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, let's run down his articulation real quick. So the head and the neck are on ball pegs, so those roll around like so. It does turn left and right, up about that much, down about that much, pivot side to side, and turn left and right. Arms can go all the way up about that far, which is pretty nice. Up and out that far. We do get a butterfly joint in there, rotation at the bicep, double jointed elbows that work very nice on both sides, so that's pretty cool. Doing a little sexy dance, hey, so that works probably pretty good. We get a rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at both wrists, so that works pretty good. And again, you're gonna get a little hindered with this one because of the glove, so you're mostly just gonna get rotation with that and won't really do a whole lot else, to be honest with you. We also do seem to get a double ball peg in here, but you're not going to get a whole lot of motion, honestly. And this is where I'm going to start having some bigger problems. You could barely turn left and right. You can barely pivot. Ab crunch is almost non-existent in there. So the torso is because of the soft goods and the straps and all that, really hinder the articulation in there. And then same thing with the legs. The pants are fairly tight, so you're only going to kick up about that far without messing anything up, which is not a lot of motion. Back, nothing. Splits only about right there. You know what I mean? So there's a combination of the tightness of the pants, the soft goods, and then things like the straps that are holding all this in place, which is really not allowing it to move the way you would probably want to. So yeah, that was something I was really having struggle with taking pictures. You can rotate in the upper thigh. We get double jointed knees that get pretty far back, so that's pretty good. We get, again, rotation at the boot. These are the modified ankles and calves and things like that. So you can rotate at the calf like there. Ankles go up, down, rotate, and a really good ankle rocker. So again, if you're more worried about poses, definitely switch to these more articulated ankles. I think those just work a lot better. And again, overall, I think this guy's really awesome, man. I'm really having a lot of fun with it. It's a cool display piece. Now there are definitely things I'm having problems with, like the lack of a just straight up trigger finger hand that shoots straight out. That annoys the crap out of me. But still, man, you cannot deny that this is a pretty rad figure still. It's just really cool to look at, especially in this scale. If you're into soft goods at this scale, this is one that you're definitely going to want to pick up. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and NECA Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to a PC Toys Neo and Bullet Head Vive mask. And for even more comparison, here he is standing next to a 1000 Toys Nero and Mezco 112 Collective Joker. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Lim Toys Aehab. Now overall, I think this is a really cool figure and feels like we've just been waiting forever for it. There have been delay after delay after delay, and was the wait really worth it? Yes and no. There's a lot of cool things that I really love about this piece. The soft goods are well done, the sculpt and the paint are just excellent, and all the accessories are mind-blowingly cool. I really dig everything you got here. There's just so many display options, it really is mind-blowing. But the articulation really lacks here. The ankles can be sometimes loose where you have a little trouble standing him, and the wrists themselves, especially with that glove wrist, man, that really annoys me that you cannot move it around like I would really like to. And the fact that we don't get a straight across gun holding hand is kind of ridiculous. That really, honestly, it honestly pisses me off. I still love the figure, but man, these things are really hindering me from really truly loving it. It's still a fun piece and I think it's definitely worth picking up, but be aware this is a third-party figure and you're gonna have some problems. He's still awesome and he's still badass and definitely a must get. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.